Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Chief Keef song was the first song that I heard diss my son.
This is what I do when I'm at the gas station.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
Smoke big Tooka in this bitch, nigga. That's all you need. Big Tooka in the gas station. No cap.
I smoke hookah like it's Tooka. I smoke hookah like it's Tooka. I smoke hookah like it's Tooka, blowing jet clouds.
You ugly as hell, folks. Look out, baby. Look at that. Yo, ass, boy. Alright. Hey, you hear me? Nah, for real, though, I'm gonna text you. I'm finna and let you know what the fuck how that shit, what's going on and shit, the days and shit. Alright, bro, love. I'll meet you, guys. Right, grizzly looking ass niggas. On your way, your damn, who you look like? Chris Brown. Chris on phone number. Chris Breezy looking ass. I know, phone number. Man, tell the father that Tooka, 20.
They don't want you to bow.
I'm in the bulletproof and go buy some Tooka, you hear me?
Think about where you at. Then think
Get
about
the bulletproof smoking Tooka.
2340. Let's go at 2340, 6 for now. South call center. We have at least 2 people shot. 1 female shot in the stomach. We got a male. Appears to get conscious as well. This is probably going to be a 0112.
Alright, 10-4, 2346 South Costner. We do have fire responding in the alley. We'll let them know that's actually a good address too. You said we've got 2 shot, 1 female shot in the stomach, and you said the other one, possible 0110. Alright, 1020 on the scene now, 2346 Costner.
Yeah, give me about a minute away.
Alright, 10-4. Let me check 24, any kind of description on anybody? 10-2-4, get a chance. If anybody gives us a description, let us know, please. Alright, 1099.
Put me down, responding over there.
10-4.
5515 Charlie.
5515 Charlie.
And Ogden, we got a witness that says that it was a blue Toyota. 2 male blacks got out with their faces covered and did the shooting. It was a small Toyota.
We're going to take you now to Chicago, where this past weekend at least 52 people were shot, 8 of them killed, in a wave of violence across the city. What is going on there? Here's Chris Bury.
The mayhem at this housing project made no more sense than any of the other shootings. A Father's Day party boiled over. 5 shot, including a 1-year-old girl. Gunned down in a weekend of violence so typical it didn't even make the front pages.
They're waging war in the streets of Chicago, and we're losing children every single day.
Most of the shootings took place in poor neighborhoods, far from downtown and tourist attractions. One reason much of the city seems to be shrugging its shoulders.
I think people just say, oh, it's a bunch of gangbangers shooting at each other. Unfortunately, though, often a lot of innocent people get caught in the crossfire.
The losses are staggering. Today, this family learned that their 17-year-old was found shot to death just this morning.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, they didn't have to kill my son.
A dozen gunshot victims came here to Stroger Hospital. 1 died, others are hanging on.
We had a young girl come in that was shot in the back and will probably be paralyzed.
For the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life.
The shootings now commonplace in a city where gangs are powerful, guns plentiful. Beyond the guns and the gangs, the city is coping with a street culture in which all too often the silliest squabbles lead to deadly force.
I think people have just grown up thinking that, you know, if I'm mad at you, I'm going to grab my gun and shoot you.
So 52 shot, 8 dead in only 3 days, and the city seems all but numb to an epidemic of violence. Chris Bury, ABC News, Chicago.
Them niggas had little pumps in it. Nah, this shit out of hand, fam. Yo, Shy City, we in the town. This shit's Popalot. Salute the almighty MOBB. Now, if we talking rap trends, we probably gonna start at baggy clothes. You gonna make your way to people dyeing their hair and their dreads. And if we talking now, you might say face tattoos. Y'all go ahead and name them. But no matter what you name, it's gonna be hard to think of one that went further and got more out of hand than the one associated with the person that we're covering today. Now, in a time in 2011, when Chicago would be coined probably the most dangerous place on earth, so much so where they would compare the fatality rates that the United States military was facing in the 2 wars that they would be fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq, with a wide census saying that the mortality rate was higher in Chicago, leading the city to gain the infamous term Chirac. Now, in a situation that I could only describe as something like a third world country that we mentioned earlier, or maybe even something like the conflict between the Muslims and the Jews that we've seen in Israel that has gone on since like forever. Whereas in Chicago, you have the Black disciples and the gangster disciples conflict that seems like it's been going on for just as long. On top of the fact of Chicago being what I would call a gang city, it seems like right around that time, the carnage in the city would be covered daily. And as we understand, no death is bigger than any other death, with hundreds of people losing their lives on the streets of Chicago in 2011. No death would be more synonymous, relevant, or infamous than the death of Shondale Tooka Gregory, with a lot of people crediting a then teenage Chief Keef with publicizing the phrase smoking Tooka, but it would be the world that would somehow glamorize the phase and had people 1,000 miles away from Chicago saying it, with no inclination of the exact meaning. And though I'm sure we all know what the statement references, but if not, if we have anybody kind enough to hit the comment box and let our less hip viewers know exactly what it means. Now, with what seems like the hundreds of videos on Tooka, it's still mystery surrounding his life and even his death, with people accusing him of killing this person and people accusing this person of killing him. So instead of going down that street, I just want to go through some circumstances surrounding the details of his untimely death. With several interviews I seen of his mom, with her describing herself as a single parent to what I believe is 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. She would speak of a turning point in Tooka's life. She wouldn't say at what age, but she would say how his older brother had been sent off to some kind of boot camp, forcing Tooka to essentially be the father or the man of the house. And with all of those that been in a situation like that, you know exactly what kind of pressure that comes with. But in a city like Chicago or Philadelphia, Los Angeles, New York, or any urban community, Baltimore, it's going to be a little added pressure, not to mention the peer pressure that you're facing, especially when you're 15 years old. Now, in a city like Chicago, which pretty much seems like you're initiated to the gang based on the neighborhood you live in, it's a lot of information online that would suggest that Tooka was either a member or an associate of the gangster disciples, a claim his mother would go on to dispute in almost classic Black parent fashion, saying that I did enough gang stuff for the whole family. And in a situation that seems like she breaks down every time she talks about it, She describes that January 2011 day where she would go to the bus stop and see her son, Shondale Tooka Gregory, lying dead on the streets for upwards of 6 hours, with the situation explaining him being shot by a masked gunman at about 6:45 p.m. on the 500 block of 63rd Street. Now, Tooka's would be one of the first murders in a year that would see Chicago reach 433 homicides, with, like I said earlier, many publications naming it the most dangerous place in the world. But could you only imagine how much more dangerous it was 20 years ago in 1991 when they would reach 928 homicides? Y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box. If y'all survived Chicago at that time, y'all get in the comment box. Give us a glimpse of y'all view. Y'all make sure y'all let me know what stories we need to tell, what I got wrong, what I missed, what gangsters I need to cover. Hit me directly, Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And per usual, y'all know the rundown. Salute the almighty mob.